38 past the hour, and joining us now, the governor of New Jersey, Christie, who's being called, quote, New Jersey's wrecking ball.
Yeah, baby.
On Christie's budget cuts, one columnist writes, quote, Christie is the anti-Europe, taking things away from people that the people simply can't afford to pay for any longer. If he is now politically successful, his actions will strengthen the resolve of other politicians around the country and show them by example that you can do the right thing without torpedoing your career aspirations.
Governor, thanks for being with us. I'm hearing more and more across America. We give speeches across America. We mention your name. Democrats rise up in a chair. It's like people want to believe that politicians will do unpopular things and not worry about getting reelected.
Well, it's just about telling people the truth. In the end, I mean, it's really not complicated. And a lot of this attention that we're getting in New Jersey, I think is great for the state. And I'm thrilled because usually all we got was attention for was the Sopranos, Jersey Shore, you know, bad things for the state. But in the end, it's just about simple facts. We don't have the money. We don't have the money to do these things anymore, and we have to stop because we're killing our future. So, you know, you can't make the calculus of what's politically popular or unpopular because I feel like I have no choice. This is what I got sent there to do.
You know what people can sense in you is I talked to you after an interview early on, and your approval ratings were down in the 30, and I said, you keep talking this way, you're going to be a one-term governor. And we were off the air, and you said, I don't care. People can sense that. They can sense you're not angling for the next election. You're going to do what's right.
Difference between a real man and a fake man.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
I got to do better than that, right?
Well,
real man. Okay.
Well,
you know what Joe just said. I would be interested.
He says I'm the fake man.
No, I don't actually.
I can recall you were here just a few weeks after being sworn in. And you had the teachers union basically in your driveway, in your kitchen, you know, the signs and everything. As your term has continued, and as you've continued the cuts, and as you've continued to tell people can't do it, can't afford it, what's happened in your personal appearances out there with regard to people? Are they more hostile, less hostile, more understanding?
Less hostile. And I have to tell you, I've been pleasantly surprised. We were on vacation for a couple weeks, spent a week at the Jersey Shore, and saw a lot of New Jersey people, and the people shore a real cross-section of the state, and some people from out of state as well. And all the reaction has been extraordinarily positive, and people are saying, you're doing what needs to be done. And a number of people say, I don't like everything you're doing, but I know you got to do it, and I'm glad you're doing it. So the reaction actually from when we had the first few weeks of rolling it out, and there was some shock that we're going to actually do what we said we were going to do, people I think now are taking it in and saying, no one loves this. But what they say is, I'm glad someone's finally doing what needs to be done.
That's the key, Willie, when you have a politician that does the unpopular thing, but people say, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I know it has to be done. Look at these approval ratings. Again, down in the 30s. Now look that all these ads that have been out, garbage ads from unions have been digested. Look, 51% approved, 36% disapproved, 13% don't know, despite the fact this governor is telling everybody no.
Well, the one thing that's bringing that 36 disapproval is that he's a Mets fan, and he's raising his children that way.
That's hurtful.
Can you imagine that he's raising his children as Mets fans?
That's hurtful.
Sweet Willie.
He's been trying to bring me down in the green room too. He's talking about all the Met failures. He's trying to lower my energy level before I come out.
Undermine you.
Well, I think he's trying to make sure I don't do quite as well.
And he's a Garden State guy.
Right.
And I'm a little disappointed with him because he's a Ridgewood guy, and I would think that's my base, baby. I don't know what
North
Jersey up there, Willie.
Guys.
Love me in Ridgewood.
Those are your guys. Well, let's talk about at the beginning.
Except for Willie.
A lot of this was unpopular with certain groups. Let's talk about results now. Have you seen quantifiable gains, improvements by some of the moves you've made that were unpopular originally?
Well, yeah. First of all, we haven't raised taxes. We haven't incurred, additional new debt. We haven't done the things that have continued to dig this hole over the course of the last decade. And so those are the early tangible things you could see. The other tangible thing that you could see is a change in attitude in New Jersey. People are starting to feel better about our state. For the first time in that same polling that you talked about, more people than in a decade feel like the state's on the right track. Now, that's a really important thing to see, and that manifests itself in what I'm talking to you about, Mike, which is people coming up to me and saying, you're doing the right thing, we're getting there. Nobody thinks we're out of the woods, and we're not, and I've got a lot of hard work still left to do, but people feel like we're making progress, and that's a really positive sign for me, and I think a tangible piece of evidence of the fact that we're doing the right thing.
Governor, one issue that hasn't bubbled up to the national level, and since we're across the river, we don't, we're a long, long way from New Jersey, so some of us may not have all the details, but there's an SEC problem. The Securities and Exchange Commission has come in. They're investigating, filing a complaint against New Jersey for something that I think we talked about a lot of states could get hit with. Yep. That poses, can you really briefly explain it to our national audience?
Well, it's over now. It's over now. Okay. What happened was from 2001 to 2007, the SEC alleged that the state did not fully disclose the condition of our pension system when issuing bonds for purchase. And
so basically cook the books.
Well, not cook the books, but just didn't disclose it. These administrations from 01 to 07 didn't disclose the true nature of our pension problems, which we talked about before. And it was left to our administration to clean it up. We resolved it with the SEC by saying this will cease and desist in this administration. We will give full disclosure.
Did you get fined?
No, there was no fine.
Oh, that's great.
There was no fine.
Really quickly,
I don't think they wanted to hurt the taxpayers.
Really quickly, are you upset that you guys didn't get the race to the top money? Or do you have a lot of work left with your unions to push reform?
Listen, in the end, if you look at our application, we had one of the most aggressive and best scored reform agendas. And if I have to make a choice, Joe, in the end, between real reform or watered down reform that the union would approve of, I'm going to go with real reform, because that's what you need to do to go over the long haul. So am I disappointed? Sure, I'm disappointed. But if you look at how we did on it, we did really well, and we lost. We came in 11th, 10 people won, and we lost by 2.2 points.
Next year.
Ohio.
Next year.
If there's more money, I doubt there will be.
Since we're all transparent here, you were saying off the air that it might not be politically good for you if we went jogging together.
This morning,
I have an opportunity for you. It's official, and Chris is going to, because we just sealed the deal on something. Chris, it's September 16th. Tell me about it.
It's tentatively titled Morning Mika's Bipartisan Health Challenge. It'll be around the mall. Around the mall in Washington.
Washington, D.C.
In Washington,
September 16th.
September 16th, a bipartisan fun run.
We're going to have national leaders. Right. Don't call it a fun run.
It's a walk. It's a walk. We're going to walk 2 miles around the mall. It's exercise in a bipartisan fashion. So you
Can you exercise in a partisan fashion, Mika?
Yes, you can.
You can?
Trust me.
Really?
So basically,
in Washington, you'll probably do anything in a partisan fashion.
We're going to bring people together. Will you come? Will you please? Will you walk with me?
Listen, Mika, the chance to walk with you is almost too appealing to give up. Now, you had my wife here before, and I think it was really unfair the last time I was here. You asked her to give up her birthday, which is September 15th.
Right.
We moved it.
Now that it's the 16th, I might be able to do it now. All right. So,
but do not have cake on your birthday.
Okay, we're gonna have
it's my wife's birthday. I'm not going to ask her.
She is the worst.
Weren't you supposed to sort your socks that day?
I'm getting elective root canal, Mike.
Yes, exactly. All right,
I'm excited about our
Governor,
event.
thanks so much. We'll talk about this more.
Absolutely.
Keep up the fight. You
Please
really
do.
are.
There's no alternative.
You are
Stay.
an inspiration. You really are.
Let's have him stay.
Just stay. Let me finish my sentence, okay? Can I just finish my, okay?
Could you two please get along?
Please, just stop.
I know there's a lot of pressure,
You're
but
an
please get along.
inspiration. Keep it up, buddy.
All right.
Coming up next, Thomas
I'm sorry, I
Friedman. He
interrupted.
weighs in on the Islamic Center controversy. Now it impacts our image abroad. That's next on Morning Joe, fueled this morning by Mika's Xana.